There's a lot of speculation right now over how the Trump administration will treat the incoming Biden administration over the next 2 months. We don't know what's going to happen, but we can look at what has happened in the past when other presidents have turned over the keys to the Oval Office to their political enemies. I'm Jonathan Devine. I have coffee. You have a few minutes. Let's do a scrutiny quick hit. Back in the AOL Instant Messenger days, an old pen pal of mine who lived in the Middle East once told me that to him, the strangest thing about America is that President elect doesn't have to kill the outgoing president. Yeah, kill. In his world, people don't simply relinquish power, so they have to be literally murdered or exiled before they can be replaced, and more often than not, the outgoing leader would be forced to sneak out in the dark of night with their families and seek sanctuary in a more friendly country. Thankfully, that's really odd to us. We've normalized the process of turning over the most powerful office in the free world every 4 or 8 years. But by nature, this is usually an uneasy transition. It's common in the US to swing back and forth between parties, so we're often in a situation where outgoing president is a major political rival of the incoming president. A delicate situation that's been rife with tension since President John Adams stepped down for the arrival of his political enemy, Thomas Jefferson, in 1801. Most of the tension and animosity through the 19th and 20th centuries has taken the form of coldness or rudeness. Neither John Adams nor his son John Q would attend the inaugurations of their successors. Many outgoing presidents were reported to be silent, sullen, or absent entirely. President Buchanan used the transition period to do nothing, in which time 7 states seceded from the Union, setting Lincoln up for a really exciting first term. Hoover awkwardly used the transition period as kind of a how to be president my way boot camp for Eisenhower, which was not particularly appreciated by Eisenhower. Jumping ahead, the LBJ to Nixon transition was said to be tense. As we know from history, those two were taking an any and all measures approach to defeating each other. The Carter to Reagan transition said to have been tense also, and may be the reason for some of the strict White House handoff rules we have today. For the Bush Sr. to Clinton transition, it is said that the West Wing was left in some disarray. But it's really the transition from Clinton to Bush that takes the cake. The West Wing, the building attached to the White House that accommodates a couple hundred of the president's staff, was vandalized with spray paint, desks were glued shut, and the W keys were popped out of all of the keyboards. The Government Accountability Office records $13,000 to $14,000 in damages. George W. Bush, however, would not repeat the sins of his father nor his predecessor. Obama repeatedly praised Bush and his team for their cooperation, and Bush's last act as president was to leave a warm welcome letter on the desk of the Oval Office for incoming President Obama, who himself seems to have adopted the class of his predecessor. By all accounts, the transition for the incoming Trump administration in 2016 saw a few speed bumps. That brings us to today. Will the outgoing Trump administration pull a Bush Sr. Clinton move, or will they pull a more graceful George W. Obama move? We'll know by January 20th or not long after. Trump did make a joke about moving to Canada if he lost, which sounds a little like fleeing in the night with your family, but if it wasn't simply a joke, and it was, let's be honest, he's not really in any danger. As it is, a retired president gets a Secret Service security detachment for the remainder of their lives. Indeed, it must be strange, mental vertigo stepping down. You spend years being the focus of every news cycle, going to being mentioned a couple times a year, and even less as time goes on. Everyone wants to be near you when you're president. They want to talk to you. Meeting you could be the high point in their lives. Then it's gone. Bush Sr. once quipped, "I thought I was really funny till I stepped down, and then suddenly people were no longer laughing at my jokes." But who knows? Just a few days ago, Secretary Mike Pompeo said, quote, "The transition from Trump's first term to his second term is going just fine." If we learned anything from the past 4 years, it's that the truth can be stranger than fiction, and if things can't be good, they can at least be entertaining. I, for one, am building a prepper-level stash of microwave popcorn in order to watch the next coming weeks and months unfold. Definitely need extra butter for that.